health, inspiration, love, life.
Peace, peace, family. This your ambassador Javon Lunsford with Hill TV, Health, Inspiration, Love, Life Television. I got a special guest on my show today. He has appeared on Hill TV during Black History Month of last year, if I'm not mistaken. He's very instrumental and community activist in Wake County and the Raleigh area. He's always on scene. He's always putting in work for our people, trying to encourage, trying to uplift. He also has a nonprofit helping males transition back into society. So my brother Kerwin Pittman is putting a lot of work out here, and he has his hands full dealing with this pandemic and dealing with police brutality and harassment as well. You know, what's going on, Pitt?
Peace, my brother. Peace, peace. Thank you for having
Peace,
me on, bro.
peace, family. What's going on, man? I just saw you recently downtown, and there was some protesters down there with heavily armed with rocket launchers and all types of stuff, man. So what's currently going on down there, and how you feel about that?
Oh man, yeah, down. So what's going on down there is you have a extremist group called Boogaloo, right? And so Boogaloo pretty much stands for Boogaloo. Pretty much what they do is they're an extremist group who want to kind of overthrow the government but establish civil war, but still yet embrace some type of racist tenets and principles.
Wow.
Right? But they come under the disguise of we're doing this for everybody else. So that's how they come under that cloak, like I'm trying to protect your rights. No, you're not. You're trying to establish the which is already established anyway, but you're trying to establish the extremist white male dominance over, I guess, the professional white male who you feel the structure right now, the government. But so they use this pandemic, the Reopen NC, and spin off of that, to pretty much walk around with heavily armed military style weapons. And pretty much at this point, they're antagonizing the people and it's threatening the people. And so that's what I was trying to explain to them yesterday. So they've been out there. Yesterday was the third week. So I can understand, like, you doing it one time to exercise your amendment rights. That's cool because everybody has the right to bear arms, right? Like, and I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. And that's what I was telling them, like, yo, I'm not against people bearing arms at all. By all means, go ahead on and get you a firearm. By all means. But what I am against is when you try to use the firearms and try to do intimidation tactics, because you're not intimidating the law enforcement. They're out there in full force waiting for you, but really they're on your side, but they out there, so you're not intimidating them. So for you to say, well, we got this out here to take our stance on what's going on and you know, protest them trying to take our guns and all that during this pandemic, which I haven't seen. So it just seems to me that they're just looking for an excuse to bring out and go ahead on and start implementing phases to establish some type of rebel order, pretty much. But yeah, so they intimidating the citizens down there. So the week before, I think one of them guys had like a monkey wrench. Like, I'm talking, the wrench it's a big wrench.
Right.
Like, it's one of the biggest wrench I've never seen. He had it slung across his shoulder. It was in a lot of them pictures. And so it was a couple walking by, and the female kind of cowered over a little bit when she walked by him because he got it slung over his shoulder naturally, looking like he's just ready at any time to strike somebody with it. Right. And so at that point, they're now becoming a nuisance to the people. So when individuals see them coming, you know, they got a bunch of guns, group of white boys dressed in armor fatigues or other little stuff, face covered up. They naturally move to the sidewalk. You got people pushing strollers. They're moving to the side. They're moving off the sidewalk, getting in the street just to get out their path. And so you pretty much, you're down there intimidating the people. And like I told them, you know, take this to your own neighborhood. You ain't got to go downtown with this. If you just exercising, right, which they say, well, we just exercising, right? So it went from us exercising our First Amendment rights to now they're just exercising, taking a walk, right? Well, that's cool. But I don't know why you need.
But this is crazy, Pitt.
I don't know why you need machine gun style weapons and vests to take a walk, but it's cool. I understand it.
But Pitt, correct me if I'm wrong. I did my research on North Carolina gun laws, you know, in an open carry state. They said certain grounds are not, you can't practice on certain grounds, and it can't be on Capitol grounds or no government building grounds. So why are they allowed to carry that where the capital is Raleigh, and they down there downtown protesting like that, and they're not seeing no consequences from it. Can they openly carry like that? Are they allowed to do that on a downtown and where the capital is?
So it has got to the point where it has got down to the strategic interpretation of these laws, right? So they are allowing these guys to carry downtown, but they can't step on any state properties like the governor's mansion or the sidewalk outside the governor's mansion. So they classify the sidewalks surrounding the governor's mansion part of the governor's mansion. So you can't step on that. The part where they have like the monuments for, you know, the different veterans and different people, they got that part. So you can't step on that sidewalk or the grounds. But anything else down there is fair game. And so they say any restaurant or business establishment down there, they have to have a sign in their window saying that firearms are not allowed in here in order for people not to bring them in there. So if they don't have that sign, they say that you could go in there with them because it's an open carry state.
Right.
But yeah, the consequences is like bro, if people seen my live yesterday, the police harassed me, a man with just a cell phone, more than they harassed him. Like they literally followed, like I'm walking, so they literally was creeping beside me as I walked the whole time.
I saw that.
The whole time it was creeping beside me as I walked. But you got a whole 4-5 of them here armed with heavy artillery. But yet, still, they just letting them go about their business, and we don't understand why is that. We don't understand the system and white privilege. So we don't understand that, because I promise you, that was a group of black guys. It would not have played out like that. That would not have been the case. Somebody been shot.
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy? They have never asked these guys to even see their permits to have these firearms.
Right.
Never. They haven't even done that yet.
Armed. And I know if it was the opposite, if we was out there, it'd be riot gear. It'd be a riot squad out there. If we was out there heavily
automatic, it'd be automatic. It will be heavily. They will come out there in full-fledged gear, ready to kill, and probably will shoot somebody.
Right.
And probably will shoot somebody. You got a couple of people who they ran up on. Just from neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, they don't ask you when they see somebody with a firearm, do you got a permit for this? They don't ask that. They automatically go ahead on and put you in the handcuffs, automatically treat you as if you're already guilty. But yet you have a group of people walking around with even replicas of guns that they're not even supposed to have. But it's a replica, but how are they to know it's a replica? Because they didn't even check.
Like how can you have a rocket launcher? Like, it's crazy.
Exactly. And so the DA, so pretty much the DA sent word to them saying that because I was recording them, following them, at this point it was going on the grounds of harassment. And so I had to stay at least a block away from them. So I'm telling them like, yo, so you trying to tell me that I don't have the right to walk? They can walk with guns, but I can't walk with a cell phone, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, yo, well, yeah, pretty much. So they said, well, the DA said at this point, if you continue to follow behind them, this is gonna be grounds of harassment. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay a block away from them because I can walk where I want to walk down here. Ain't no way you gonna sit up here and take my rights away, but give extra privileges to these white people because they're white. We're not about to do this.
There's been evidence shown throughout decades of the inequality, and there's no equality, and this is just more evidence shown that there's no fair game when it comes to us, and we already know that, Pitt. You know what I'm saying? But what I respect about you is you don't never give up. Just because the game is not fair, they're going to keep mistreating us, doesn't mean we lay down and just surrender. We got to keep fighting.
You got to, bro. And that's what I was telling the brothers on the live. A great man once said, man, I'd rather down my feet than live on my knees. And that's why I was telling people, get off your knees, man. Like, it's time for us to really stand up and come together collectively. The reason that they're able to do that is because they stick together, right?
Because they stick together.
They might have their issues amongst each other, but it's because they stick together collectively. The reason why they built a system around themselves to fortify whatever they do and justify anything they do is because they stick together. We're the only ones divided with the crab in the bucket mentality instead of seeing this brother as my brother or my sister. I automatically grill him and look him up and assume he is a threat, and he doing the same to me, but it shouldn't be like that.
Right.
That's why we in the predicament we in now.
Right. Let's talk about what we talked about a week ago. We talked about trying to educate our people on getting their permits and actually helping to assist them and point them in the right direction, paying for that first initial fee so they can get the process started. And maybe possibly starting a gun club in the near future. How important is that, my brother, for our people to start carrying?
Listen, it is of paramount importance for our people to really wake up and begin to exercise their rights as well.
Right.
I could only think what would have happened if Ahmaud Arbery had a firearm on him when these rogue individuals stopped him and tried to make a so-called citizen's arrest, really kidnapped him because they held him against his will with a gun.
Right.
He was moving a certain amount of feet with the gun. So that's really kidnapping as well as murder, but that's a whole nother story. But I can only think, like, what would have happened? Would it have played out differently? Would they have backed off? And this is my thing. As a community, we have to stop seeing guns as automatic death and terror. It's not the guns, it's the people behind the guns.
That's right.
And the intent with the guns.
That's right.
So it's not the gun, it's the people behind the guns and their intent with these guns. What are you intending to do with them? You see what I'm saying? And so our people, we'll go the street route to get a gun instead of going the legal route to get a gun. When when the police run up on us, we're gonna have to run and throw the gun.
Right.
But if you legal, then you legal. They might run up on you. They might harass you, and ask you for your permit. But at the end of the day, you walking off with your firearm because there's nothing they can do. And so it is of utmost important that we educate our people on these laws and different ways to handle themselves and conduct themselves, so they won't be scared to have a gun, for one. But two, they can feel protected. But three, they can feel empowered to walk around in their community to help their community out when something is going on. And I ain't saying being no vigilante or nothing like that.
No,
but I promise you, if people start seeing people walk around with these firearms, and a lot of people notice they legit, I promise you that would deter a lot of things from happening in these type of neighborhoods. So like we really got to get on the ball. And you know, other races, they're starting their kids off. They start their kids off from young, like teaching them about gun safety and how to shoot a gun and how to properly store a firearm. And when you get 18, go ahead on and get you. Like, they teaching them young. We the only ones don't do that.
Yeah,
don't get that gun. Put that gun. We the only ones don't do that.
Yeah, we the only ones that don't.
And that's why we in the predicament we in now. That's why we in the predicament we in now, brother. And I hate to say it.
It's true. It's true. We're unorganized. You know, we're divided. And we don't take things seriously until it hits home, until we lose someone. And then we still go back and just forget. You know, we go back. We forget that injustice.
That's right.
You know, we go back to TikTok and we go back to Facebook and we go back to, you know, our regularly old lives. You know what I'm saying? And that's frustration that comes with guys like me and you that's trying to uplift and trying to give people this information and trying to empower our community when they don't want to empower themselves. But are we going to give up? No, because if you save one, you save many. So whoever we can help and uplift, it's a blessing. So, you know, we're never going to stop.
Yeah, true indeed.
Right.
You know, our forefathers and our foremothers didn't give up. You know, one thing that keep me pressing, even in the face of discouraging stuff like the police mess with me instead of messing with the Boogaloo gang, was that our forefathers and foremothers, they didn't give up. Like, so what if Harriet Tubman would have gave up and just said, you know what, y'all, I'm tired of risking my life every time. I'm gonna stay up here in the north and lead them. I'm gonna lead them down there. You know, they're gonna fend for. She kept going back.
Right.
She kept going back, man. She kept going back to save and to uplift, and that's the mentality that we have to have. But they didn't kill so many of our messiahs that we're scared to stand up and be that person for the people. Not realizing that if we stand up and we train the younger generations and show the way, the people gonna keep coming up behind you regardless, and they're gonna stand beside you.
Right. They had I just saw a report with TMZ with Ahmaud Arbery's murderers. That they was actually encouraged by their local police to be vigilantes. They said they told people in the community, if there's any break-ins, any trespassing, don't call us, call them. I said, really? So they actually encourage for them to be out there patrolling, and you know,
need to be with a sensor.
So they should be held accountable as well too. And Ahmaud Arbery's killing. Because that's a show of negligence and you not wanting to do your job.
Exactly. How you gonna have a group of vigilante citizens running around talking about they making citizens of, man, get out of here, man. This ain't this, what they supposed to be, the slave catchers? You see what I'm saying?
That's
If you can look at the whole system, and it's nothing but a system repeating itself, but we're just using different terminology for these different individuals. They slave catchers. That's pretty much.
Yep.
That's all they are.
Brother. You're right. That's exactly what they are. You know what I'm saying? How you been holding up with this pandemic? How's the community been doing with quarantining and everything, my brother?
Brother, I'm still fighting the fight. During this pandemic, I thought I might be able to chill, but activist job is never never really get no downtime, and it's cool because I love the people.
Right.
But yeah, it's been more needs pressing than ever right now during these times. And so the people, man, they frustrated, man. They frustrated with the government, with the state, how this unemployment thing going on.
Right.
They frustrated with that. They frustrated with the jobs. They're scared because we are the highest risk population because we possess the most, the most different ailments that this disease can affect and kill the people the most. So we the highest risk population out here, to be honest with you. I get called from people in the prison system daily telling me about what's going on in there, and it pains my heart to fight for these individuals and people in position of power. Just pretty much say they don't care. Like, we ain't letting nobody go. This is the only amount of people we letting go, which really is not even a drop in the bucket. And we don't care. We just gonna let them sit in there. We ain't doing it. We tested these people once. We doing a case by case basis. It's like they don't matter for real. It's like they really do not matter. And it's sad because it's politics over people.
That's what it is. And I heard a reliable source, that there's 400 inmates at Noose Prison in Johnson County. I don't know if that's in John, might be Wayne County. But a Noose Prison has 400 inmates that tested positive for coronavirus.
Yeah, they did. So Noose the Noose is one of the highest ones in the state. Besides the women's prison. The women's prison tested high too. But yeah, the Noose tested high. But the sad thing is the people from Noose, I got a friend who was calling me. They was telling me what was going on and how serious this thing was before the pandemic even broke out, that these individuals were sick and how it was spreading. And so if they telling me, I know they was telling other individuals as well. So we communicate this to the proper sources and channels. DPS, man, they didn't take us serious until the pandemic broke out. Now it's all, we got to cover ourselves and make it look good. So now we bring a bunch of little strategies in that we think look good, but really ain't doing too much of nothing. Because when you give the people that's down there, masks that's made out of, that's as thin as your pants pocket, the lining in your pants pocket, but yet you got on a N95 mask. Come on, man, what did they say to their life in your life? I got the N95 mask on, but I give you a mask made out of a pants pocket lining. Like, so, bro, it's just it's a lot. It really is. And you have the homeless population. People in the beginning, I had to get on the sheriff in Durham County, Clarence Burkhead, because he was still processing eviction notices. He didn't padlock nobody's house, nothing. But he was processing the paperwork, meaning that the sheriff would go out to these people's house and serve them with this eviction notice. They would have to sign the paper. They didn't padlock them, but it's just the point of you putting this stress on these people, knowing that once this is over, I'm getting kicked out. Like, bro, stop. Like, it was a lot, man.
Yeah, and I saw that, man, and I commend you, brother, on always being there for our people, man. And I don't know if other people, but know that Hill TV community, we appreciate you, man, because you're always out there, man. You're always putting in pain for our people and risking your life at some moments, you know what I'm saying, on the front lines. And I hope people really see that, and they need to get behind you, man. They really do. It's not for you. You're not doing this for your health. You're doing it for the people. Sacrifice.
I could chill. I could sit at home and be good. I could sit at home and be good and don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yo. So it's very important, man. What inspiration or words you have for the youth, my brother?
For the youth, man, I was just looking at something. So I'm a big believer in your thoughts, right? Your thoughts shape your reality and create your universe, right?
Right.
So like so I try to continuously pump myself with positive thoughts and positive and motivative thoughts, right? Because that's what keep my fire going too as well. So I was just listening to the brother Nipsey Hussle, man, and this brother right here was beyond his time. And so he said something today and it hit home to me. And it was basically about visualizing your reality and sticking to the script. That's pretty
Right.
much what he said. So for the youth, a great message. Whatever you want to be and whatever you want to do in life, all you have to do is stick to the scripts. And know and understand you're going to have shortcomings, you're going to have obstacles, you're going to have falls, you're going to have setbacks, you're going to have to start over. But listen, if you stick to that script, I promise you, your goal will be obtained. Now, in some way and form, it might be altered just a little bit, but as a whole, I promise you that goal will be obtained. You got to stick to the script. And we as a people, we got to stick to the script. See, we lose focus. Yeah, you know, with these killings going on, it bring the light of justice and everybody want to get out there and all this. But 2 months down the line, when everything open back up, it's going to be brushed under the rug. We ain't sticking to the script.
Nope.
So,
Right.
you know, the people have to stick to the script. So if you teach the youth this, guess what they're going to do when they get older? They're going to stick to the script. But guess what they're going to teach their generations? But behind them, they stick to the script. And so it's about sticking to that script, man, regardless of what setbacks, what obstacles, whatever you may face, stick to that script. Stick to the script, bro.
You're right, my brother. You're right. I think that's very important. We, you know, throughout the generations, we lack consistency. And on top of that, you know, they preyed on that. They prey on our not being able to stay unified on a consistent level throughout the generations. And they threw stuff out there to keep us divided as well. You know what I'm saying? But this generation and this era is very special. You know, we have a lot of access to a lot of resources. We have, then the internet became my own media source. You know, if you come together, social media could shut down a powerful government official. You know, so we do have power out here, but it's how we use it and how we move.
Exactly, my brother. Even with the social media thing, everybody possess their own. You know, I look at it like with social media, everybody possess their own platform, right? And that's a blessing to have a platform.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't really understand the importance of that, but they use their platform to promote bull job, fights, and just other little stupid stuff when you should be using your platform to promote positivity. You should be using your platform to promote unity. You should be using your platform to promote love. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. It's
my timeline, bro, is positive. If anybody drop anything negative in the top of my timeline, I unfriend them immediately.
I know,
because I don't want to see that.
I want to see that. I know, King. Yep. Same here, man. It's definitely we're misusing. You know, like you said, the platform is so special, but we're misusing it, man. We can be so much powerful if everybody get on that same frequency. But unfortunately, there's going to be low frequency individuals out there that doesn't care. All they care about is the turn up. All they care about is the negativity. They're lazy and they're scared. They're scared of a positive transformation because it's work. A lot of people don't want to work to be better. You know.
Exactly.
Hey, Pip, where can they find you at? Where can they reach you at? Put your information out there.
You can find me on Facebook at Kerwin Pittman. You can find me on Twitter at Kerwin Pittman. You can find me on Instagram at activist Kerwin Pittman. You can find me on LinkedIn at Kerwin Pittman. So, and you can find my organization on Facebook, REPS, RREPS, Recidivism Reduction Educational Program Services. So this basically is a organization geared towards helping individuals coming home, post-release parole, prison transition back into successful into society, as well as a diversion program for the youth and the mentors. So if you have anybody who might fit the bill for this and who you think might need a little help, feel free to reach out to me. We'll make it work from there.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome. Family, make sure you support this man, especially in the Triangle area, especially in the Raleigh area, Wake County. Get behind them. Get yourself together. We have to do this collectively. It can't be done individually. If we're going to find solutions to the problems, it needs to be done collectively. And this is one brother that we need to get behind. So please support him. Check out his work. He's out here putting in pain, okay? This is Hill TV, Health, Inspiration, love, life. Thank you, my brother. Have a great day.
Yeah, no problem, bro. You too, bro. Peace, bro.